What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys 5 tips to overcome procrastination and still get your listing goal done. So please smash the like button, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys in the show. If you guys have been watching my channel for the last 5 years, you know I always wonder why some resellers are always stuck and can't reach their listing goals, and other resellers are done with their listing goal by 6 o'clock in the morning. What is the main difference? So this video is actually sponsored by Skillshare, and this course really caught my eye. It's by Jill McCabe, and it's called Get Unstuck. And this class really showed me sort of the mentality and the psychology behind why people get stuck in the first place. And they gave me some key strategies and a toolkit to overcome procrastination. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the things I learned from this class. And the first 1,000 people who use my link in the description below get 1 free month of Skillshare. And you can take a class just like this one and help you develop the skills you need to build a profitable online business. The number one reason people procrastinate is a lack of a clear goal. So I'm going to give you guys a clear goal right now, which is list 10 items in 1 hour or less. So once you have that clear goal, you really need to drive it home with how that's going to affect you long term. For every 1 hour that you do every single day for an entire year, that's $36,500 worth of profit that you're listing every single year for every single hour that you are consistent. So that long-term goal really helps you stay on track. And number 3, the reason why people lose their motivation is because they've had inconsistent results in the past. So if you list here or there and you're not consistent to begin with, it's going to really drive your motivation down. So you have to get started and try not to miss more than 1 day in a row. So as you're getting started, you are going to miss days because you're developing the discipline to become consistent. So don't beat yourself up. The only way to be consistent is to practice. So lack of motivation comes from a lack of a clear goal, lack of understanding how that affects the big picture, and then number 3, inconsistent results in the past. So don't let motivation get you down. Movement is the answer. The second biggest reason that people procrastinate is anxiety. They have fear of releasing the final product, or maybe they have fear of not being perfect or perfectionism, and they don't want to get the listing up because they're afraid it's not perfect. So my antidote to this is to make sure that you practice. You know, my slogan is make progress daily. So try to make 1% progress every single day closer to your goal. And if you time block time to practice getting better, I think you'll be fine. If you just say between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m., I do my best to get my listings up, and you do that over and over and over again, you're going to eventually get over this fear and anxiety. Number 3 is feeling overwhelmed, and there's too many things going on, and you might feel stressed from that, so you end up procrastinating. So I think the solution to that is to learn how to prioritize. I also have a Skillshare course on how to set your priorities. So essentially, we've come up with all the things and responsibilities that most people have to deal with. And the way that you can overcome the anxiety and stress is number 1, to recognize not everything will get done. So you just have to get the things that are most important to you done first. And there's so many things that you can't control, and you can't worry about those things. Otherwise, you'll be crippled. You'll have the analysis paralysis. So you have to make sure today I can only get 2 or 3 things done, get the 2 or 3 most important things done. And then once you get those 2 or 3 things done, the not important things that are really nagging at you, you'll find out those aren't as important as they were, because you can only do a few things at a time. And I think it's important to understand what you focus on what you can control. Okay, so number 4 is a messy or unorganized work environment. Now, I think this is actually pretty key because people lose a lot of time moving from one task to the next task because it's not set up in order. So for me, we unpack the items in one area. Right next to that, we photograph and list the items. Right next to that, we present the items, or we list the items on a platform and store them. And then right next to that, we have the shipping. So for me, it's all one loop, and that really helps me stay organized, and it helps me not get distracted. I also recommend you put your phone in airplane mode, or you put it in a desk somewhere, and just time block when you're going to be working on something. And when everybody knows you're working on your project at this time, they know you're a lot more serious, you become a lot more accountable, you get a lot more things done. But I think the messy work environment literally is just setting things up in order. It's not the clutter, because there's a lot of people who are very productive and their workspaces don't look pristine. It's just in order. So task 1, task 2, task 3, all in order, and your mind will just make it easier for your mind to follow a sequence, and you'll get more done. The messy work environment, I think, is less important than having an organized work environment. The 5th reason people procrastinate, some people call laziness, but I actually think people aren't lazy. I think the opposite of happiness is actually boredom. I think maybe your goal is just staying the same. Maybe you're content with where you are, but I really compel you to think about what your potential is. I think your potential is a lot more than what you're doing right now. And it doesn't mean more money, it might mean more time. You know, millionaires, when you ask them towards the end of their life what they wish for most, they always say more time. Okay, so I think if you think about your potential as having more time to do the things that you want to do, I think you can overcome laziness, which I just consider sort of doing things that are more convenient now than looking at the overall picture. Maybe you choose to watch TV instead of going to the gym. But if you go to the gym every day, you're going to have the body that you want. Maybe instead of making food, you go out to eat because it's a little more convenient. But that costs a little bit more money and it puts you in worse health. Maybe you binge watch Netflix instead of going to bed early. All these little habit changes really are the opposite of procrastination. They're really proactive. And I think that when you're trying to build a happy life, build a happy business, the majority of your day is proactive. So for me, I spend the entire day trying to make tomorrow easier. So that's basically what I'm doing all day at work, is making sure that things are set up, things are prepared, so that tomorrow my life is going to be a little bit easier. So maybe the ultimate laziness is just being proactive all day so that you can choose to earn the majority of the money you need for your life in a shorter amount of time. So for me, I've watched people retire early and they don't really stop working. They don't really stop doing. They just replace needing to work for money with working for something that they find more meaningful. So I think it's really important for you guys to really sit down, think about why you're doing things. And I heard someone in my morning call today say something pretty powerful. She has lots of whys. So I think one why is not strong enough, because literally you could have squirrel brain and forget about your why. But if you have a lot of whys, a lot of reasons to really succeed or get your goal done, I think it's really going to keep you really focused. So again, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Make sure you click the link below. The first 1,000 people get 1 month free of Skillshare. Check out that class by Jill McCabe. Also, you can check out my video on how to set up a schedule. And I appreciate you guys. Until next time, make progress daily.